Wait, what do you have?
The glasses.
Oh, the two. There's two of them.
Yeah, she gave me the other one.
Oh, she got one.
Across the street at Our Lady of Lourdes, to eventually enroll in the University of Maryland Law School, becoming an attorney. He was first elected Governor of Maryland in 2006 and played a significant role in the passage of the DREAM Act and the same-sex marriage law in Maryland. Governor O'Malley also created the Celtic rock band O'Malley's March in 1988 and has since been the lead singer and guitarist of the group. He is a husband, father of 4 children, and mentor to Marylanders. Please join me in welcoming the lead singer of O'Malley's March, and of course, our Governor, Martin O'Malley.
Thank you very, very much. Thank you for your gracious introduction, and thank you for your good taste in Irish music and the kindness of those words as well. It is a great honor to be here with all of you and to be able to share some thoughts with you. I want to acknowledge Principal Karen Lockhart, who has led BCC to become one of the top 10 high schools in the metro area for academic. Last year you had a 96% graduation rate, and this class may well top that. So, and also to my cousin Maureen Bonner, your registrar. To Dr. Josh Starr, Superintendent of Montgomery County Public Schools. And Mike Durso, who you will hear from in just a little bit, of the Montgomery County Board of Education. Distinguished faculty, family, friends, and honored guests. Please, let's give it up together for the Bethesda Chevy Chase High School class. Graduates, I know I speak for everyone in this auditorium when I say that we are very, very proud of you. We admire the accomplishments that have brought you here today. We admire your idealism and your persistence. You give us strength, and you are the hope of a million things. So accept my congratulations, you future teachers, programmers, lawyers, doctors, CEOs, public servants, cooks, athletes. You really are countless other things that I cannot even begin to name, and some occupations that don't yet have names. And today I urge you to hold on to that powerful belief that brought you here, that belief we share, because it is real and it is needed, as you are real and as you are needed. In fact, that power has already called you to action. Take, for example, BCC's own Julia Fine. A wonderful example of the power of that. Where is she? Julia, don't be shy. Stand up. women in Pakistan. And get this, in a CNN contest where there were hundreds and hundreds of essays submitted, Julia's was chosen by none other than Malala herself as the very best of all of the essays submitted. Her essay was a model of clarity and fearless inspiration, and Julia is committed to taking on and widening Malala's mission. Sometimes we are made stronger just by following along the path of these right and heroic hearts. Sometimes we're also made stronger by the example and the authenticity of others. The one who has the courage to say who he is, like Pascal Tessier. Where are you? Pascal happens to be the nation's first openly gay Eagle Scout, and more importantly, he advocates for more open policies in the BSA. Pascal, you lead by the courage of your example, and you show all of us something more about ourselves. How we must advance the dignity of every individual. How we must improve our world by opening our hearts, and how we must never stop realizing the fullness of our own unique humanity. People like Graham Mosley. Where is Graham Mosley? Now, Graham's another Eagle Scout. Last year, he used his standing to inform his Chevy Chase neighbors about the danger of dumping refuse in storm drains. And Graham marked 128 different drains in the town's 10 miles of roads, and he also distributed literature on the topic so that others might also help to heal our streams and save our bay. And this too is citizenship. As Eliza said, I grew up not 2 blocks from your school. Blue and gold, go you mighty barons. I can't hear a high school marching band without it taking my memory back to the fall times of my youth. About 40-some years ago, you could have seen me not far from BCC, sitting under a big apple tree with our miniature beagle, Lou. Our backyard rose up behind our house in 2 really large kind of terraced hills. And there was a big apple tree on the top hill. There was a series of grapevines and raspberry bushes that braided their way along one side of our fence. And on the other side, yellow and white rose bushes grew there. It was 4306 Sleaford Road, Bethesda, Maryland. Left on Shelton, right on Sleaford. And I attended Our Lady of Lourdes through 8th grade. And even today, as I look out at all of you, a part of me still sits under that apple tree on Sleaford Road and wonders in awe about this world of ours and about this world of yours. You see, I was born between times. At the end of the ideological, hierarchical, and bureaucratic times of my older baby boomer siblings. And yet, not in that entrepreneurial, connected, collaborative time of my millennial children. Your time. For your millennial generation, left versus right, capitalism versus socialism, these are outdated expressions, old expressions that no longer serve the future you seek. The leadership you value is collaborative, present, authentic, and connected, measured openly and transparently for all to see, and for every individual to evaluate for him or herself. You will carry with you from this auditorium not only a diploma, but hard facts about the Earth's environment, about the global economy, the failure of nation states, challenges to the civility, the honesty, and the yearning for better, deeper connection that you carry in your own hearts today. you are up to these challenges. We depend on you. We need you. We know you will not fail us, because the very life of this earth also needs you. To transform the challenges of your times, you have been given a greater power than the technology beneath your fingertips. And it is the power that beats beneath your breathing chest. True story. At the age of 36, this little boy, under that apple tree on Sleaford Road, found himself later elected mayor of Baltimore. And the sad reason for my election was that Baltimore by 1999 had become the most violent, the most abandoned, and the most addicted city in America. Her turnaround would require constant presence, authentic and connected presence, at the center of much tragedy and much suffering. One day, a different type of tragedy called me to its center. There was a quick rising squall. It was something that the meteorologists in our ever more violent weather times referred to as a microburst. A microburst of intense winds, and it knocked over a water taxi that was full of moms and dads and kids touring the inner harbor. 5 lives were lost, 2 from New Jersey, 3 from Virginia. Now, over several blustery cold March days, diving down again and again, firefighters risked it all to recover bodies that would be no more alive when they were brought to the top than if they were left at the bottom. And one of the bodies that they were looking for was that of a 6-year-old boy, the age of my own son at the time. It was cold out there, and I knocked on the window of one of the fire trucks that was stationed in position at the harbor's edge. There was a burly African-American firefighter behind the wheel. And at that time, given the tough choices that we had to make to rebalance our city's finances and to fund the crime fight and addiction treatment, Baltimore firefighters didn't care too much for their new mayor. It was just the way it was. As I listened to the latest recovery dive in progress and told on my radio, I tapped on the window to ask this firefighter if he might let me in to share the warmth of the cabin. And he gave me a cold motion of resignation, as if to say, knock yourself out. So he unlocks the door. I go inside the cabin, and there was no small talk to be had. Quietly we sat listening to the radio, watching the firefighters go one more time into the deep, cold, and impenetrably murky waters. And after a long, long silence, the firefighter finally turns to me and he says, "Mr. Mayor, all I want to do is get that little boy up from the bottom and wrap him in a blanket." At that moment, I felt deeply the power of that firefighter's heart. It is the power we have each been given. The power you have each been given. The power that flows from the belief we share, a belief in the dignity of every individual. That man and his fellow firefighters, they owned their responsibility. And it wasn't about medals, kudos, media attention. It wasn't about job, and it was not about money. Sometimes the greatest thing we can do, the thing that reveals the deepest colors of our character and humanity, is the thing that requires us to plunge deeply into murky, dark, cold, and seemingly hopeless places. To be present, to be authentic, to bring a part of the living earth, a part of us, back up to the surface, to transform suffering into the living story of life. Now, our nation might seem at times to be too entrenched in ideological and cultural differences and political partisanship, super billionaires and the gap between them and the have-nots among us. But don't believe it. Believe that the good that we do as a nation comes not by chance, but by choice. The choices of individuals. the choice of individual and powerful hearts. Your choices. Nobody can be you better than you. So never give up on this world. All that we need depends on change. The challenges of our times, even a challenge as intimidating and as foreboding as climate change, these are not things that are happening to us. These are things that are happening for us. They are calling us to take action, to be present at their center, to act in the face of darkness. And if you are alive, you are called to be part of the solution. And so, Bethesda Chevy Chase class of 2014, fall in love with this pulsing, living world. Fall in love with its suffering. Fall in love with its beautiful fragility. Do what works. Do what serves. Do more of it. Be present, authentic, and brave, for you possess an awesome power. It is a power that flows from the belief you share in the dignity of every individual and the responsibility you feel to advance the greater good. And for all of these reasons, I look forward to the new world you will create. I look forward to the new reality you will recover and bring to our surface. May God bless the work of your powerful hearts. Congratulations.